That'd be good. I'm not. I'm picking on. No, I'm picking. Nope. Turning over the leaf.
Well, I talked to Dan a lot. And I know what my rights are.
Just less than a minute.
That's why our attorney, yeah.
Stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Clausen,
Here.
Commissioner Cox. I was trying to give him time.
He should be on his way.
Okay.
Commissioner Graven. Here. Commissioner Phipps.
Here.
Mayor Hall. Here.
It's no motion to that. You see?
Commissioner Fox.
Okay.
He's not here.
I realize that.
So I thought maybe he'd be walking in the door any second.
He had a customer, but he thought he would be here right close to start time. So,
But we're
Well,
not.
I tried.
Yep.
yep, he tried.
I got all night, so I'm good. Oh, no.
Consent agenda. Items listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature and will be enacted by one motion. No separate discussion of these items will occur unless a council member requests the item to be removed from the consent agenda. If an item is removed from the consent agenda, it will be considered elsewhere on the agenda for this meeting. Prior to asking for a motion to approve the consent agenda, the mayor will ask if anyone desires to remove an item from the consent agenda for public discussion. Would anybody like to remove an item from the consent agenda? Hearing none, I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of July the 2nd, 2024, and the bills and payroll for the first half of July 2024. Do I have a second to that motion?
I'll second it since Mr. Cox is gone.
Commissioner Graven and roll call.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Commissioner Graven.
Yes.
Commissioner Phipps.
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes. Presentations, petitions, and communications. This portion of the city council meeting is reserved for persons who desire to address the council. The Illinois Old Meetings Act mandates that the city council may not take action on comments received on matters that have not been identified on this agenda, but the council may direct staff to address the topic or refer the matter for action on the agenda for another meeting. Persons addressing the council are requested to limit their presentation to 3 minutes and to avoid repetitious comments. We'd also ask you state your name and address for the record, as well as stand when speaking. Would anybody, except for Ed, like to address the council? Hearing none. Ed, would you like to say anything? Well, okay. Seeing we have no presentations, petitions, or communication, vote to new business.
Motion to adopt special ordinance number 2024-1911, authorizing the sale of lot 19 in Lake Paradise subdivision in the amount of $15,870 to the Melvin Allen Estate, owner of a home on leased premises at lot 19 Lake Paradise subdivision, and authorizing the mayor to sign all documents necessary to complete the transaction, commonly known as 3309 East Lake Paradise Road -10-0-00943-000.
I would like to point out real quick that there should be Melvin Douglas Allen Estate. All the rest of the documents have the Melvin Douglas Allen.
We need to have a judge in the middle there.
Yeah. I missed that, but
Okay. Can I have a second to that motion? Anybody?
Yes. I'll second.
Yeah.
I'll second it, Mayor.
He's okay? Wait a minute. We're waiting on a second, Dave.
No, Dave Phipps.
No, that's good.
Making a good impression, aren't we?
Commissioner Phipps, second that motion, and we'll have roll call.
I have a question though. Generally, is this person deceased where it's an estate? Because generally estates are only open like 2 years. Is there a reason that
yeah, he
it's an
just
estate versus a human? I mean, a live person?
he just passed away this this year.
Okay.
And then the kids are wanting to sell the property, the cabin, the buildings. And to do so, they wanted to know what we needed to do, whether we would transfer a lease to somebody else, a buyer, or
To the estate side.
to the state. I asked that they would do it to the estate just to make it cleaner.
Okay,
Instead of having the city to do two different transactions, it would be cleaner for us to do one transaction of selling them, the estate, the property,
then the
and then they
estate will
sell.
sell the, okay, gotcha. Okay, I was just curious.
You have a question?
Nope, we're motion number one on here, right?
Yep.
And so, no, I
Okay.
reviewed it earlier. I'm good. Thank you.
Anybody
Apologies
else
for
have-
being late.
Any questions or comments? All right, now roll call.
Commissioner Cox?
Yes.
Commissioner Graven?
Yes,
Commissioner Phipps?
Abstain.
Commissioner Clausen?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes. I move to adopt special ordinance number 2024-1912, granting a special use for the construction of a parking lot to the west of United Christian Church located at 200 Lafayette Avenue East. Petitioners are Tim Buford and Mary Toberman, United Christian Church. Could I have a second to that motion?
Second.
Mr. Cox, and any comments anybody has?
Just going to say that just standard special use for church, synagogue, or temple. We have a representative here tonight in case you have any questions.
Yeah, that's the empty grass lot between Walgreens and the church. And they're just going to do some expansion to the church and then make that parking lot, more parking for the church.
There you go. Any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Graven?
yes.
Commissioner Phipps?
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Cox?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes.
Motion to approve council decision request 2024-2521, approving a $2,000 grant by the Tourism Advisory Committee from FY 24-25 hotel motel tax funds to the Mattoon YMCA in support of the Last Chance Try on September 29th, 2024, and authorizing the mayor to sign the agreement.
And a second to that motion.
Second.
Mr. Clausen, and any comments from anybody, questions?
Pretty standard activity with partnership with Y.
All right, roll call.
Commissioner Phipps?
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Cox?
Yes.
Commissioner Graven?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes.
Motion to approve council decision request 2024-2522, authorizing a transfer of the Lake Paradise lease located at 3230 East Lake Paradise Road lots 23 and 28 in Lake Paradise subdivision from Michael Titley to Scott and Cheryl Sweet contingent upon the payment of back lease and property tax payments, and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to sign all documents necessary to complete the transfer, commonly known as 3230 East Lake Paradise Road 10-0-00954-000.
And a second to that motion.
I'll second the mayor.
Commissioner Phipps, and any comments, or questions?
Again, this one, the property has been behind on lease payments and property tax payments. Scott and Cheryl actually bought the property on contingent they pay back the property taxes and the back leases.
Do we have restrictions on what can be done at that property as far as like,
So there is a covenants of the subdivision when it was platted. So yes, there's those restrictions, but there is,
which are what?
there's like, they can't run a business out of there. I think
Okay.
what year. Yeah. Pretty much similar to our zoning ordinances for the city of
Gotcha.
Mattoon.
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Clausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Cox?
Yes.
Commissioner Graven?
Yes.
Commissioner Phipps?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes.
Motion to approve council decision request 2024-2523, approving the plans and the specifications of the 2024 pavement striping contract and authorizing the solicitation of the bids.
And a second to that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Cox, and any comments or questions?
This will be the second one we'll do this year. This will finish the striping on Public Broadway that we couldn't do due to the construction that's ongoing We had some crossings out on Western for the Safe Process School, get that done, a couple other spots around town.
All right, roll call.
Commissioner Cox?
Yes.
Commissioner Graven?
Yes.
Commissioner Phipps?
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes.
Motion to approve council decision request 2024-2525, authorizing the mayor to sign a non-binding letter of intent. I'm sorry, 2524. I jumped over to Mr. Clausen. Approving the plans and specs for the 2024 sidewalk project and authorizing the solicitation of bids.
Can I have a second to that motion?
Second.
And anybody have comments on that?
Well, I think we have 4 locations around town, one small spot on Western, across to the east from YMCA, finish that block on that project that they've just done and completed, and then over at Burgess, front of that, make that handicap accessible there. And then the last is out on 10th Street, about a half block there, some really bad brick pavement or sidewalk that's there.
I totally agree, but sometimes I wonder why we bother to put sidewalks in because they walk in the road anyway.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Graven?
Yes.
Commissioner Phipps?
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Cox?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes.
Motion to approve council decision request 2024-2525, authorizing the mayor to sign a non-binding letter of intent with Renewable Energy Evolution and Commercial Electric Incorporated to develop a power purchase agreement and solar array project for the Mattoon wastewater treatment plant.
And a second to that motion.
I'll second.
I'll give that
Doesn't matter.
Commissioner Cox. And any comments on this?
Again, this is the information they presented to us. This gets the letter intent started so they can start working with Ameren and getting everything more finalized on what kind of cost it's going to be and what kind of savings we will see to start moving the project forward. So
And currently I think this project is 3 cent kilowatt hour, 6 years guaranteed. And currently we are paying 5.6 cents per kilowatt hour. As Kyle mentioned, it's going to be if we go forward with it, a significant savings in that regard and money that can go to other needed projects at the wastewater treatment plant.
Okay. Roll call.
Commissioner Phipps?
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Cox?
Yes.
Commissioner Graven?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes. I move to approve council decision request 2024-2526, authorizing the release of all executive session minutes from May 18, 2010 through June 30, 2024, except for May 18, 2010, February the 1st, 2012, July the 2nd, 2013, January 7, 2020, January 16, 2020, April 6, 2021, October 19, 2021, November the 7th, 2023, December the 5th, 2023, January 2nd, 2024, January the 16th, 2024, February the 6th, 2024, March 5th, 2024, March 19th, 2024, April 2nd, 2024, May the 21st, 2024, June the 4th, 2024, June the 10th, 2024, and to approve the destruction of executive session verbatim records which have been approved for release in written form through December of 2022.
There was one, it should be June 16th.
I missed that one?
You said January 16th, so I just want it for the
Okay.
record that it was June.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. A second to that motion?
I will second, but I'd like you to clarify all those once again, please.
I could do this in reverse.
There. I will second, Mayor.
Okay. So any comment about that? It's kind of a long list, but
We reviewed them, Attorney Jones and I, and these needed to stay confidential.
all right.
We'll review them again in 6 months.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Commissioner Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Phipps.
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes. Departmental reports, starting with the city administrator, Kyle Gill.
Not a lot of new things to report. Still working on new negotiations. It's been kind of very busy week so far, and last week just several little things coming up. A lot of people asking information about construction. We've had people wanting to get some information on trying to get more businesses located out there at Emerald Acres and stuff like that. So Alex and I have worked on some maps for them. Other than that, I mean, it's kind of just been business as usual. Seems like the complaints are up a little bit as it's been hot and people letting their yards go and trash go. And so it's always busy. Summer's always busy.
Good.
Keeping you busy.
Any questions we have for Kyle? City Attorney Dan Jukes.
Been business as usual for me too. I think our next Brown Shoe hearing is on August 12th. I think we have Quackenbush hearing in mid-August, and I'll report back after those. But happy to answer questions if anything else.
Any questions, anybody? Okay, next is City Clerk Susan O'Brien.
We received the OPEB report back and it was much better this year. Been working with the auditors on collecting other things that they need, processing personnel and insurance and retirements, business as usual.
Okay. Next is Finance, Beth Wright.
So the auditors are here this week and I'm sort of up to my eyeballs and,
Request.
so I don't have the June council report, prepared for tonight, but I will have it, before the next meeting. I did hear from Sindel, the audit manager, that the audit staff are excited to be here during They look last week. So if they're last year, they look last meeting, excited, they're excited to be here again sometime. I've distributed the revenue tracking report. Headlines that are updated since the last meeting, my income tax, which is up over the prior year. Use tax, which is down slightly over the prior year. Sales tax, which is up over the prior year. Telecommunications tax, which is down slightly. And personal property replacement tax, which is down significantly. And we've been warned, if you will, that there will be a clawback. And it's pretty severe clawback. And so the good years, like 23 and 24, having to give some of that back. So overall, and I think I mentioned at the last meeting, the property tax collections came in low compared to the prior year. So we're down on a cumulative basis, $493,180. The unrestricted cash in the general fund, as of today, is $11,864,000. And at the last meeting, it's $11,668,000. So that's holding pretty constant, the cash, the restricted cash in the general fund. And that's all I have to report.
Any questions for Beth?
Yeah, what's the clawback for?
The applications by the Department of Revenue. They made even longer, if you will, and over allocated to the pre-production one. And once they realized their mistake, they decided they had to fix it. Theoretically, they're saying that the income tax allocation will be more. And it is up by about $76,000 over the prior year. I don't know that that's, we'll just have to wait and see if that holds true. They do make up for it in the income tax allocation.
But they overpaid us in the personal property tax
That's
for,
everybody else.
yeah. Yeah, all the cities for what, 2 or 3 years, and then they're gonna claw back, I think, for 2 or 3 years. So
So will that come out of the unrestricted cash balance if they do claw back X amount?
Well, the PPRT is divided three ways. 7.5% goes to the. And the balance is split between the fire pension and police pension. So it's calculated along with levy in terms of our budgeted contribution to the pension fund. So if it comes in short, it hurts the pension funds. And we may have to make up for it elsewhere.
Have they given us any indication what that amount might be?
I have quite a bit of information in my office. I can't recall if it.
They told us at the beginning of the year, and I can't remember the percentage that they told us to budget less, and we did budget less, but still it seems like it's coming in lower than what we budgeted to. So.
Any other questions for Beth? Public Works, David Clark?
A lot of general maintenance things going on right now through summer. On the water side, we are looking at doing some cleanup at the bottom of the spillway with Paradox. It was kind of, we had a fish kill down there because when it was dry, they couldn't get out. The algae bloom update on that the rains kind of subsided a little bit, so hopefully that's a good thing. Haven't seen our new pump yet, but it's supposed to be here this week. Lead surveys, we got a few more in, but we're now looking at getting someone to help collect the remaining data. We have probably about 3,500 spots, homes and businesses that we need to collect the data on yet. On the wastewater side, the IEPA did an inspection here almost 2 months ago. We got their letter. We responded to that last Friday. There's a lot of things on there that we still have to get done and get over to them, but we do have a few months yet to do that. Public Works side, oil and shipping will probably start sometime in August. Don't have a date yet on that, but we do have a low bid, and they'll start sometime in August, be done before the end of August on that. As far as other project, Rival School, the sidewalk itself is 100% complete. They have some cleanup, which they did yesterday or Monday. Yeah, Monday. And then they have some seeding and stuff that they won't do until probably about mid to late August because it's just going to be, well, I can't say it's too hot and dry right now, but usually that's what they have. Then we have some HMAs to fill in, repair the shoulders and stuff like that. That was to be done by others, and we're working on getting that done before August the 9th. Sports complex, paving started. Got half of Fort Worth Way done. They'll resume again tomorrow, barring no more rain. And should finish Fort Worth Way in terms of the paving there, and they'll be ready to move on to Remington Road. We have the bid opening Thursday for the sanitary line from there to the plant. So we'll see how those bids come in this time around. And that's really about it. Any questions for me?
The only other thing is, yeah, with the bids coming in on Thursday, we would like to try to get a special meeting to maybe approve those bids. So have a special council meeting, whether it be Friday morning or Monday or Tuesday morning of next week, just to move that project along if the bids come in at a good price. So didn't know what your guys' schedules look like, if you guys would be able to.
You're talking 7:30, like 7:30?
Yeah, we do it in early morning, whatever time you guys would like. Just 5, 10.
Friday too soon or on Monday or?
For advertising in the paper, we'd have to advertise tomorrow, correct? If we did it.
Got an agenda, yeah.
Yeah, so we,
Hours in advance, so it's,
so it'd be better on Monday or Tuesday. So Monday or Tuesday would actually be better, so we'd have the information in the agenda.
we'll just notify everybody.
Yep. So is there a preference?
Tuesday for me.
Tuesday for you? Anybody have any?
I think Tuesday's for me is better too.
Monday if you want.
That's the 23rd
23rd, yes.
at 7:30.
Yep,
That work.
that works for everyone. Okay, that's what we'll do. Thank you.
Give them comments.
All right. So
Well, maybe.
that's it. We have that. Next report, Chief Hildos, Mattoon Fire Department.
Thank you, Mayor. Since the last meeting, you guys have answered 94 calls for service. Inspectors have been spending quite a bit of time out there at Emerald Acres, all the stuff that's going on out there. We are going to start downtown on Broadway. So our goal is not to go in and find businesses. We just want them to be safe. Make sure they're at the code and everything. So that ought to be starting next week downtown. We're gonna start with that. So make an example out of it.
9 hours.
Right down there.
Jeff, make sure you take the police with him so when he parks the wrong way.
Let me make a note of that. They continue working on the hydrants. We're about 75% complete of the area of town that they're working. And then with my recent retirements, I've got 2 new shift captains and 3 new captains. So I had a meeting with all of them last week. Just laying out the expectations and trying to lead them in the right direction. So starting good so far. I expect good things out of it. So that's all I've got unless anybody's got any questions for me.
Okay. Next is Chief Gaines, Mattoon PD.
The guys are doing good. They're staying busy. 965 calls for service in the last 2 weeks, 47 arrests. Lots of overtime too this time of year. Things such as the Harvest at Hope, 4th of July, Bagel Fest, numerous races and parades. So they're staying busy, getting lots of overtime, which they don't really complain about. Enjoy it, but also had the last 2 weeks today, last Tuesday and today, our annual active shooter training at the middle school. So got that knocked out for the year, rapid response active shooter. We do it annually. Other than that, that's all I've got to report. Actually, save the day, September 13th, this year's pork chop supper out of the range.
Yep.
Do you have that set?
Any other questions? Arts and Tourism, any comments, Dave?
Yes, I do, but I'm writing down pork chop supper here. It is Bagel Fest week, of course, so hope everybody can visit Bagel Fest out at Peterson Park. The parade is planned for this Saturday, 10:30. It's a record lineup, it looks like, so let's hope for good weather and a good parade as always, so that's a lot of fun. Carnival wristband pre-sale ends tomorrow at noon. You can get those at the Peterson House, and the carnival kicks off tomorrow night. So lots of fun activities out at Peterson Park during that time, and they're already starting planning for big Bagel Fest next year for 2025. But so the work never stops. But some good concerts planned Thursday, Friday, and Saturday out at Bagel Fest as well. So hopefully everybody can swing by and have a lemon shake up and enjoy one of those things that
Really good
Mattoon
food.
is, and some really good food.
Good
One of those
for
things that Mattoon is known for. Have enjoy Bagel Fest. So that's all I have.
Any questions for Dave or Arts and Tourism? Okay, Community Development, Alex.
So we're having some car problems. Both of our cars with code enforcement are getting close to being non-functional at this point, and they're not even worth the cost of the repairs. So we have 1 car budgeted this year, probably going to need 2. So we'll get there. But just kind of putting that on the radar, potential purchases coming up. 9 demolitions upcoming. 2 of those might not go through, depends, but we're looking at 7 to 9. 2 clean and leans were completed yesterday at 1816 Grant and 312 North 26th Street. So definitely working towards cleaning up certain areas of town. We're also contemplating, Whitney, John and I are contemplating a additional OSLAT application. We were told by IDNR that we were pretty competitive. So really the main thing we're trying to work through is just workload, can we handle it, and going from there. And on that note, our BAAD grant is complete. The ADA kayak launch looks absolutely amazing out there on the lake. That's like $68,000, worth of grant funds that made that possible. Kind of exploring different mapping tools between Placer AI and AlphaMap. Sorry, the term of service is ending with AlphaMap soon, so we might go over to a different vendor for a little bit. Potential for 3 new apartments coming to Mattoon, talking with all the developers, great news for housing. And then last thing is, on a personal note, actually, I was accepted as a U.S. Chamber of Commerce Business Leads Fellow. And essentially what that means is that I'll be working with a group of 34 people nationwide that were also selected and by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce to work on workforce issues and be trained in specifics like business retention and expansion. And my focus in this is going to be childcare, specifically trying to develop a large childcare facility right here in Coles County for our workforce. So I was really excited and humbled to be accepted as part of that cohort, and looking forward to bringing back that information. Going to Washington, D.C. on August 20th. I did hear about that. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Alex, on the OSLAD grants, I read their IDNR is allocating 64 million. Does all that money, do they spend all that in grants, or is it one of those situations that pretty much everybody applies, receives something?
No, you can get denied.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But if you write a good application,
Good application.
they will not use the full 64 million.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing that we're going back and forth on is, does it all go to the lake, or are there more things that you can focus on? Because if we do something with land acquisitions, it essentially doubles the amount of grant that we're able to get. So I think about the pump track as a obvious kind of action item for that.
Well, it's been a home run for Lake Mattoon, obviously.
Yep.
Any other comments, questions we have? Let's see, next is comments by the council. We'll start with the late arrival, Commissioner.
I already mentioned Bagel Fest, so that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Then we go to another C, Commissioner Paulson.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want, kind of stealing Dave's thunder here, but with all the rains of July 9th and last night, I don't know about you guys, I haven't heard any complaints about flooding issues in Mattoon. So I think the improvements in the last 12 or 18 months have been very, very beneficial. Dave probably elaborate on that a little bit. Just one thing on Lake Mattoon, the kayak launch, you might have saw that. That was yesterday. So that was part of the OSLAD grant. And also back on July 9th, that was the night we got anywhere from 5 to 7 inches of rain that washed away all the beach. So on July 13th was a triathlon that took off from Lake Mattoon to the beach area. I think there were 60 triathletes. John Wurtzball got 16 tons of sand, got all that beach filled in. Then we have 2 part-time employees, Mike Thornton and Steve Fryer. They were cleaning up campgrounds. So even with all that rain and limited staff, triathlon came off very, very well. There's also going to be another triathlon in September. And I think John said there's going to be like 200 triathletes that will participate in that. So with the kayak launch and the marina and playground equipment coming in, Lake Mattoon is getting to that destination where we're wanting to go with that. So thank you very much. That's all I got, Mayor.
Any questions? Next would be Commissioner Graven.
I think, Susan, you need to doc Commissioner Cox's pay for the truth you're not. I have nothing.
I'm your go, I've been here on time. Maybe if you stay there.
Stay out late after class.
Okay, let's see. Commissioner Phipps?
Just congrats, Alex, on the fellow. It's pretty awesome. I have nothing.
Okay, this week for myself, had various calls from citizens, one on drainage, one on solar panels, which we can't help very much with that one, I think. I've had some interest in additional economic development that have come in, and we're going to hear more about that later. Emerald Acres is still taking some of my time, and I've been working to collect or add to the donations for Emerald Acres to make up the difference on a couple of cost overruns on a couple things. So that's all going well, though. Needless to say, the Emerald Acres today is very hectic out there, and a lot of people, a lot of equipment. I did go by and take a look at the street. It looks like it's, all concreted and paved almost all the way to the interstate. But yeah, I know a lot of good things still going on out there. Any questions anybody has for me? Okay, so the next one, we are going to, I move that we recess to closed session pursuant to the Illinois Open Meetings Act for the purpose of the discussion of the appointment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the city or legal counsel for the city under 5 ILCS 120, 2C1, and collective negotiating matters in the city of Mattoon and its employees or their representatives, or deliberation concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees under 5 ILCS 120, 2C2. Do I have a second to that?
I'll second.
Mr. Graven, and
Played Marlin.
we, before we vote, we're not going to take any action after that meeting, so you're welcome to stay around and hear us close for the evening. We don't know how long we'll be, but again, you're welcome to stay. And now we need roll call.
Commissioner Cox?
Yes.
Commissioner Graven?
Yes.
Commissioner Phipps?
Yes.
Commissioner Lawson?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes.
Thank you guys for that.
Ed, you going to get ice cream for
This
everybody?
time I will pause the meeting and mute it until we get back from executive session. Good. Okay, now we're back.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Mayor, I make motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Okay, there you go. And next roll call.
Commissioner Graven?
No.
Commissioner Phipps?
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Cox?
Since I was the last one here today, apparently I'll make the motion to adjourn and I will vote yes. So,
Mayor Hall?
Yes.
Good.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Does that have to pass 3?